Today's February 7th, 2021. It's about 4:15 p.m. The sun is just getting ready to set. Oh wow. Oh wow, we have a neighborhood that has a lot of tangerines. Oh, hey. Looks like we've got some a nice little weather system gently rolling in. I assume the whole thing will be here by nightfall. Looks like some pruning is needed. You know, I have to say, this is definitely, for having come here, for having come here in between jobs. I have to say that, I have to say that, I just have to, regarding the whole kind of small town feel of Hilo. This is definitely the kind of place where if you're, how do you say, where if you have any sort of skills to be able to do anything, you could easily become someone in the community. Like you could easily start a business doing just about everything. Like there's a lot of older people here that are too tired to prune their their property, the plants on their property. The beach at Hilo Bay, where if you'd seen any of the previous videos, there's a lot of debris there, but it's organic debris. It's just like wood and tree bark and stuff. If you were the kind of person that had a truck, or had a few trucks that could take them to the recycling facility, could pick up all the trees, all the trees from the shore, and send them to the recycling facility. It'd easily be something that's recognized by the community. It would make a noticeable difference. There's because the population is only 43,000. Because oh wow, there's even more tangerine trees. Because the population's so small, it kind of makes each person in the community a little bit bigger. And so whenever if you decide to offer, I don't know, let's say you decide to offer Spanish lessons, you might be one of two people on the entire island that are offering Spanish lessons. I'd even seen a YouTuber recently called Michael Reeves, who he'd said, okay, a lot of dogs. He'd said that he used to be like a tutor, I think, for like math and science. And I think for a while he was kind of like the go-to tutor, on the main island on Oahu, and it's definitely like that. It's definitely like that here. Like, if you can offer a service, you could easily turn it into a business. Like, I have it. And I would say that includes like, I would say that also includes like, creative pursuits as well. Like there's some people who are like able to like make their own clothing and like make their own artwork and stuff like that. And same thing, like you'd be like one out of a handful of people who are providing any of that stuff out here. And so yeah, like walking past not just a lot of the homes and property, but also just walking through in the Big Island in general. Not sure if it's different on Oahu, but definitely on the Big Island, all the plants seem wild. Like all the, nothing seems pruned. Maybe occasionally I'll run into like one random house that is just like very well, like where the plants are just very well maintained. But in general, like there's kind of a, they kind of just like go wild. Another thing that's common here is that people will buy plots of land like this that are pretty much just like overgrown with plants and stuff, because I guess maybe, I don't know that much about real estate, but I guess maybe it's like the cheapest kind of plot of land that you could buy is just one that's like undeveloped at all, like just completely wild, and they'll buy it and then like just have the whole thing raised. And then build, and then like once, like I feel like that's probably the hardest part, is like getting the land and then getting it raised, and then after that, like you can build a house of any quality, of any price, and like, like whatever kind of house you build, like boom, that's it. It's yours. So like a lot, there's people up in the mountains that like have cabins built on their house, on their houses, that just use solar, that that aren't connected to electricity or anything, like off-grid, semi-off-grid, and some of them may be bare bones, but like if it's enough. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people, obviously most people are on grid, they just have regular setups, but there are a lot of people who just buy a plot of land and just build a basic cabin or something, and they're able to live off grid for, I don't know, maybe like under $50,000 paid total, you know. Like no matter what happens, like they'll have they'll have like dwelling or whatever, which is not bad, because like, I don't know, here you can fish, like I mean, this is not something that I would consider, but I just think that it's cool. I just think that it's cool that it's possible. So I know there's places up in the mountains where people actually do offer like rent to own, and it's just like fairly basic cabins, but like, like it may only be like 20 grand, and then you own the cabin, like you live there for a few years. You live there for a couple of years, and then you own the place, and then you just got a spot. And that's kind of not bad, like all things considered. In any case, apart from that, apart from that, actually, what the big thing is that's going on right now is the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, it's like, it's probably still on right now, but it would have started around maybe 1 p.m. here, or 1:30, something like that. Oh shoot, I've gotten some fruits from this guy before. I never tried them though, I just left them at home for people to take. And just have themselves, but it looks like they're just ordinary oranges. I think this is the first orange tree that I've seen in Waikea. Yeah, normally people have tangerines growing, and the tangerines here are pretty bomb. I still haven't tried the watermelon here, but I don't know that it's gonna be that good. I think it comes in from California. But yeah, the tangerines here are pretty bomb. It's kind of crazy, like some of the things people have told me grow in their backyard here. Like the other day someone told me they have sugarcane growing in their backyard. They have cocoa, like for chocolate. I think vanilla beans. And of course, I've mentioned before, people that have starfruit and avocados, and of course tangerines, oranges, and this one fruit it's similar to a lychee. I forget how to pronounce it. I forget how to say it, but it's like bigger than a lychee. I wouldn't mind trying some sugarcane. I haven't had sugarcane since I was little. I used to eat sugarcane as a teenager. It's like a little bit of an acquired taste, but it's pretty freaking good. Anyone who's never had sugarcane before, just don't expect it to taste like sugar, like like refined quote unquote sugar. Like don't expect it to taste like white sugar. I feel like it tastes like the aftertaste of sugar. That's what sugarcane tastes like to me. The aftertaste of sugar. No, I'm sorry. It's actually the other way around. Sugarcane, it has a unique flavor, but its aftertaste tastes just like ordinary sugar. Yeah, sorry, other way around. I see they're excavating here. Not sure what they're building. I mean, wow, it has been such a long time since I've lived. Since I've lived someplace where I got to see it. Like kind of undeveloped. Where like people still greeted each other like throughout the day, and that was back in Fayetteville, Georgia. Probably like around 1994 or 95. My dad moved down there from New York. And I would go and visit like during the summer. And I think it was the first time that I really got to experience what it was to like truly live like away from to like truly live away from the north and like live like live in the south, and it was just very slow, and there was a lot of development taking place, but like even though there was a lot of like development taking place, the place was so undeveloped or like underdeveloped that you know, like it would take like another 10 or 15 years of development before it felt like there was really any real change. And that's kind of how it is here. Like I hear that a lot of people are moving here from Oahu, because, you know, Oahu's like a little metropolis. It's like I hear it's like New York and stuff. And Oahu's like, you know, it's like a little New York. And it's got like 1 million people, you know, small island, and yeah, so they say people from Oahu have been moving to the Big Island, probably because it's so expensive there, and it's definitely more chill here. But even though a lot of people are moving here from Oahu, or at least that's what the rumor is, I mean, you won't notice for many years. You probably won't notice for I don't know, maybe like probably over 10 years before all this stuff is developed. All this stuff, you know, like in a more developed suburb, you would see this side with markets and stuff, right? All this would be full up with stores and stuff, and then also across the road would also be full up with you know, with different markets and shops and everything. Like there wouldn't be nearly as much of sort of like natural, I guess, like shrubbery and like kind of wilderness that there is. Like, I mean, Jesus, there's freaking people that live inside some of these forests. You know what? It actually was like that in the town that I left in Georgia, in Cartersville, Georgia. There were people that lived inside the inside the woods, and you know, I even met someone who managed to pull off, like, someone who was homeless, who managed to pull off kind of like a glamping situation. Glamping is like glamorous camping. It's like, you know, $2,000 tents that you can like take to somewhere and set up and kind of feel like you're in a little apartment. This guy freaking bought he bought wooden beams. He bought a bunch of wooden beams. He set up a tent with a hardwood floor, with a power generator, lights, a bathroom, you know, separate rooms. And just put a lock on it for when he was away, and lived in it for years. Like he had like an apartment, like maybe a 10-foot high ceiling tent, and just big. And I forget whether he had TV, but he pretty much had the whole shebang. In any case, there are some busy strips, like just a handful of main roads, but in general, like, I feel like there's still like a lot of undeveloped land here. And of course, like, it kind of gives the neighborhood its charm. So it'll actually be interesting to see what ends up happening. What ends up happening in the far future, like when when like the Big Island starts to become like Oahu, when there's 1 million people on the Big Island, when there's like an entire city here. That would be quite something to see. With traffic and condos and everything. I guess it may happen sooner or later. I met the other day. I met a couple. I met an old couple that had been on the island for like 30 years. And I forget what they were telling me. They've been on the island for 30 years, and oh, you know what? It wasn't them. It was someone else who just pointed out like how sort of isolated Hawaii kind of is. Like like that part about being here was not planned. I've talked to some people who who've stayed here for 6 years, and like they're ready to go back home, like back to the mainland, like they miss their family and stuff. But I've also met a lot of people who transplanted and just stayed put, and just settled down here. But but yeah, that wasn't part of the plan. Like I'd mentioned this before. Like I'd originally had my sights set on someplace. I mean, I knew that I wanted to move someplace more chill, like California, Arizona, Colorado, maybe like Washington State or something. So I definitely knew that like I wanted to be someplace kind of like it would have been great to move someplace that was kind of beachy as well. Like Arizona's not very beachy, Colorado's not very beachy, but California is. And I think for what was going on at the time, California was a little bit too expensive for me to consider looking. Um, uh, and I don't know. I don't think it was like, I don't know, like Hawaii. I think Hawaii seemed like a better fit in terms of like me wanting to live someplace that was kind of like generally warm and like kind of like good for swimming, and also that had like kind of chill culture all the time, that wasn't too expensive. I hear that you can definitely feel like you're in the rat race once you get to Oahu. You know, like all kinds of traffic everywhere, and like a lot of like violent crime, and like homelessness, and like violent homeless, and um um and just full on metropolis. But here you definitely don't feel like you're in the middle of a rat race or anything. Like everything seems to run like kind of very chill all the time. You know, like no one really seems to be rushing to be rushing. You know, when it comes to just about any kind of like public service or service at businesses or what have you. It's not like, all right, I'll have it for you in 1 minute, you know, or I'll have it for you in 5 minutes, you know. It's more like, okay, you know, like maybe I'll be there in about a half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. Oh, you need that? All right, I'll get it to you. Give me like a week or two, you know, like that's kind of how it is. That's kind of how it is here. Like it is very chill.